and welcome to the amazing Nerdiverse. I'm Jeff Grants. Okay, so during the recording of this episode, we had a ton of technical issues and just random things popping up. We had to stop and start like several times, and in the process, we ended up losing the beginning part of this episode, but we only lost a little bit. We just started talking about The Dark Tower. I wrote a review of The Dark Tower for Heroic Hollywood, so please go check that out. And then we started talking about the director, Nicolas Arcel. He made some comments about what he would do in a sequel to The Dark Tower if it makes enough money to do so. And the film was only made for $66 million, and it didn't seem like they spent a whole lot on marketing the film. The first trailer didn't come out until about 3 months before the film debuted. So I think maybe they might stand to make a sequel, so we talked a little bit about that. And I think that's everything we got up to at that point in the episode. So without further ado, we'll jump back into the episode where we left it.
We're back?
Yeah.
So once again, we had some technical difficulties. Our card was full and we had to stop recording. It stopped us from recording, so that's great. We're off to a fucking great start tonight.
This might be a short episode.
We might just lose our patience and start throwing shit. Where were we? Dark Tower.
I don't give a shit no more.
So the sequel...
Well, you read a book?
Yeah.
All right.
So the sequel's going to adapt elements from the second book, mostly the characters that are introduced in the second book, the drawing of the three, which is when he has to go and find three companions from three different doors on like in his world that lead to our world, New York, and it's three different time periods and stuff. It's really cool. Introduce some cool characters. So that's going to be interesting. It's basically what the director Nicolas Arcel, because they're doing a TV show as well. Like they're talking about doing this TV show, and that's been part of the plan for a while back when like Ron Howard was going to be directing these films, and so this apparently the show is still in development. I keep hearing stuff about it. They keep talking about it.
Is it in Arrested Development?
Oh wow!
Get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So Idris Elba is supposed to appear in the show. I don't know if he's going to be the main role as the gunslinger or how they're going to.
He probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean he's done TV and stuff before. He did that show
but not
Luther.
so much anymore, though, does he?
I don't know. I mean this is like one of his first big starring roles in like a kind of a blockbuster-y type thing. He's had parts in like the Marvel movies and stuff. Pacific Rim, yeah.
I think,
but he wasn't the lead role in it and stuff. That's one thing I like about this movie is seeing him in a lead role because I love that guy.
Pretty sure it was.
I mean, he did The Wire too. Duh.
There was only one spot where those monsters came out, so it was a specific rim.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah, that was the name of the movie.
It's very specific to that location.
It's
Makes
specific
sense.
to that rim.
Right.
All right, I can't wait for Specific Rim uprising. So yeah, I mean, it says he would appear in the film, and the cool thing about it is the movie is canon to the books, and the TV show would be canon to the books and the movies. But what they're saying is, he's saying that the film is like a introduction to the franchise for people that haven't read any of the books or anything like that. Film is a nice, introduction to a wider fan base and stuff. And the series is going to, be closer to the books and kind of adapt events from the first and fourth novels, which the first novel is like the first part of this journey, and the fourth novel is like kind of like a flashback story of like before we meet him in the first book, stuff like that. So that's really interesting. This is what Nicolas Arcel said about the TV show. He said, "It's being written. I was part of writing the pilot. Like the first season ideas in the pilot and the second episode. It's going to be awesome. What was exciting about that, whereas with the film, we were really trying to create an introduction to make a standalone film that would sort of live in itself. But what was also exciting working on the TV show at the same time is that it's totally canon. We're going back in the past. It's very, very closely adhering to the Wizard and Glass novel, which is part 4, and parts of the Gunslinger novel, which is the first one. That was exciting to be even more like, okay, now we're going to be able to even lift lines directly or like write characters exactly as they are, which as a fan was exciting in a different way." Mm-hmm. So like most movies, the film is quite a bit different from the books. At least the first book, because that's kind of the chunk of story they're kind of telling at this point. But it's very different. But, normally, you're just used to that when you see a movie being adapted to the screen. But with this being a directly in canon with the books, it's really strange to see the differences and stuff in the film. Mm-hmm. And as I said in my review, I said the word a million times, but basically, the books and stuff have a great blend of like Western, fantasy and a little bit of like kind of even like horror almost with some of the supernatural elements and stuff.
Is there a spooky clown in it?
No, unfortunately. There was a good place in the movie for that would have been for a spooky clown. But in the movie, they kind of added this weird sci-fi element that I don't know if that worked for me, because I've only read the first two, or listened to the audiobooks.
The first
two books. I listened to the first chapter and it was all right.
Yeah.
But no, I listened to the first two books, and I don't know where the story goes from here, and I don't know if those sci-fi elements are part of the rest of these stories. So it just kind of felt strange to me. Okay, so let's, that's thoughts on Dark Tower and everything. Definitely check out our review and all that. All right, now we're jumping into the bulk of the news.
Okay. I'll allow it.
This one is kind of a bummer to me, as someone who grew up loving this person's work. It's sad news. It's not like no one died or anything, but it's kind of a bummer. Voice and casting director Andrea Romano has retired.
Okay. Who did she do?
The reason she retired, she's diagnosed with optic neuropathy, which caused her to be blind in one eye. She is the voice and casting director for most of the DC animated shows and movies since Batman the Animated Series. So she's like responsible for all the Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and just all the great voice acting that began in the early 90s and has continued on through till now with just all the tremendous
to the late 90s.
Yeah, no, it's just, and like she's also done, she's done most of the shows like Batman Beyond, Batman, Superman, Justice League, all that stuff, and she continued on. She did all the movies. She did DuckTales, Animaniacs, Avatar: The Last Airbender. 31 years she's been doing this stuff. She's done 1,600 episodes of television, 23 DC animated movies, and 20 video games. As a result, she's gotten 35 Emmy nominations, and she's won 8 Emmys and stuff. So, and it's like no doubt in my mind that she was one of the secret weapons of these shows and movies and stuff, and especially just the DC animated universe that I've loved so much for my entire life, pretty much. And it's just kind of a bummer to see her, officially retire from that role. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because her work has meant a lot to me over the years. I mean, you grew up watching all that stuff too.
I never watched anything.
Oh, really?
I wasn't allowed to watch TV.
Or read books.
It was blasphemous.
Blasphemous. We're going back to that. What did you say last week? You said talking animals was blasphemous.
What was that from, though?
I don't remember. We were talking about
Jungle Book. Yeah, the animals in the Jungle Book. We were talking about Jungle Book
and Lion King stuff, but yeah. I told you last night or whatever, but I listened back to when I edit the episodes. The thing you said about Star Wars, you're like, well, maybe there shouldn't be any goddamn Jedi. Maybe I want that to be in the movie so hard. All right, moving on. We're done reliving our glory days of last week. Deadpool 2. We got our first look at Domino. Zazie Beetz from Atlanta is playing Domino in the movie. Did you see that?
No.
You didn't see the images of Domino?
No.
All right. Well, the first image... What a goddamn...
Is it, like, pizza?
What?
You said Domino.
I know, but...
What?
Most adults just don't play the fucking word association games you do. It's just easier to have conversations with people where they're not... Just the first thing is like... I said Domino. You're like, oh, pizza. Domino's? Pizza!
Is that right? Did I get it?
No, you weren't even close.
Are you sure?
Yep.
100%?
Yeah. All right, hang on.
I don't know who Domino is, though.
She's a cool character.
What does she do?
Hang on. All that will be covered in due time. I just want to show you the picture first. Have you ever seen Domino?
I just told you I don't know who she is.
I mean, yeah, but you may not know anything about it, but you've at least, there's plenty of comic book characters that I have seen and don't know much about. Here it is. All right. So this is fun. Remember the first image that we saw of Deadpool in costume? This is the first image of Domino.
Okay.
Oh, lying on top of a little Deadpool skin.
I see.
Yeah. That's
I mean, if I don't know who.
But you don't remember a character in Domino? She wears the black. She has a little like black domino over her eye.
No.
She's a big character in the comics. She's a popular character. She was introduced in that same era of like the New Mutants and stuff, and New Mutants 98, I believe, which is like the same kind of around the same time where they introduced Cable and Deadpool and all that stuff. They released that first look. It's the same pose of that was in the first shot of Deadpool. Them lying, it was that Burt Reynolds pose and everything on the fire, on the bearskin rug in front of the fire. It's her laying on Deadpool's costume. And there was also a second like close up look at her and stuff. David Leitch, the director of the film, speaking about her powers. Her powers are the ability to manipulate probability, which ends up looking like good luck. Like it looks like someone tries to shoot her and their gun jams and stuff. So it's essentially looks like she just has really good luck, but that's her mutant power, is the ability to affect that stuff. So the director was talking about her powers. He says, we're having fun with her power because when you really distill it, the laws of probability. So I think there's a lot of ways to go with it, and I think we have some really cool visual ideas of how we can demonstrate that. And then also there's the Deadpool tone of how you can be self-referential to all powers. So it's going to be fun. So they released the first look image, and they also released a couple of set photos of like, not officially released, but there were a couple of set photos that came out of like Deadpool and Domino hanging from parachutes and stuff. So it should be some fun times to be had.
They jumping out of a plane?
Probably.
They trying to jump into a plane.
Or they're just standing on top of a roof and just opening a parachute and just the wind catches them and they fly off. Yeah.
They might do that.
What does it matter?
Huh?
She's got good luck, so she's not going to get hurt. If he gets hurt, no, well, he can heal. So, Jessica Chastain has confirmed on Instagram that she's going to be playing the villain in X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Who the villain?
Who should be Lilandra of the Shi'ar Empire.
Okay.
Which
alien?
Yeah, she's an alien. She's the leader of the Shi'ar Empire, it was in the cartoon and all that stuff, and that this really cool stuff in the comics, during the Dark Phoenix saga, where they're basically trying to capture and destroy the Phoenix, which is part of Jean Grey and everything.
Yeah.
So they come at odds with the X-Men and stuff like that.
They got beef.
Yeah. She Jessica Chastain, I believe, has been trying to be part of like one of these superhero movies for a while.
It's funny, like not funny, but it's like yeah, no shit. When they're like, oh, this actor is interested in playing yeah, no shit. I bet they want the money.
Yeah, but there's a lot of actors that like are assholes about it and like, oh, I don't give a shit about superhero stuff.
Yeah, but then they mention like, well, I'm interested in playing Superman.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's interesting when like they say,
I'll bet you are.
When they say they're interested in playing characters that are not like the typical. Funny because that's our next story. Mads Mikkelsen wants to play Dr. Doom. He had an audition for the 2015 pilot shit, Fantastic Four.
I thought that was your favorite movie.
Oh, I mean, I love it, but it's a lovely pile of shit, isn't it? No, that movie is garbage. It's straight, just 2 hours of shit.
Long.
And
it's just long, and it feels long.
I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters.
It's so why
I was on board for like a good portion of the movie, and then it just went off the rails.
Like Mr. Fantastic wouldn't just leave his boys behind for like a year?
It was like a year, yeah.
Nah.
It just jumped to 1 year later for no reason. And
like I was expecting him to be like, all right, let me sneak around real quick and like get in the air ducts and get my guys out. Yeah. No, homeboy just
dipped.
Homeboy just dipped.
So Mads Mikkelsen recently talked about his audition. Mm-hmm. He auditioned for the role of Dr. Doom in that film, and he said he had a weird audition. And he was talking about the thing they were most concerned about was his like arm length. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like that's what they were interested in when like he originally like sounded like he walked out of the audition, but he didn't walk out. It was just like after he left, he was just like, what the hell was that? Mm-hmm. And like it just didn't seem like they cared too much about it. But which is dumb because he would make a great Dr. Doom. Mm-hmm. And like that's the thing, like I want Fantastic Four to go back to Marvel, but the only downside about that is they wouldn't put him as Dr. Doom because he's already been Callistius in the Doctor Strange, so he's already part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I wouldn't see them giving him that role, but he would be the perfect guy to play it. Mm-hmm. And if they're really doing this movie with Noah Hawley doing this Dr. Doom movie, he would be a good fit for it, and the combination of Noah Hawley and Mads Mikkelsen would pique my interest a little more. Mm-hmm. I'd be curious to see. But still, I just don't know if Fox can do it. Ant-Man and the Wasp has begun production. begins shooting.
I'm excited about that movie. Looks good.
Yeah,
Looks
the
good
more
so
I
far.
the more I hear about it, the more excited I am. I knew they were going to make it. I've been excited from the get go as soon as they said that Wasp, it was going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp, because I love both of those characters. They're original Avengers. Like, they're part of the first lineup of Avengers. It's like Ant-Man, Wasp, Iron Man, Thor, and Hulk. And then Captain America comes in a couple issues later. That's when they bring Captain America back to the present day at the time, the 60s. And like, I've always liked those characters, especially Wasp. Wasp is a fun character. She's a great character to have.
She can fly.
And yeah, and like, she gets real tiny and flies around. But she's just a cool character, and I've loved like versions of her in like what was that? I really liked that Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes animated series. I really liked what they did in that, and she was a great character in that as well. So like, I'm glad to see her finally becoming part of this universe, and apparently Joss Whedon wanted to have Ant-Man and Wasp be part of the first Avengers movies, but Marvel kind of wanted to hear closer to like the Ultimates version of it, which still had Wasp and Ant-Man involved at one point or whatever. They wanted to do the the Hawkeye and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow versions like they did in the Ultimates and stuff in the later issue of it. This is a rumor that came out today when we're recording on Wednesday. Captain Marvel may include Marvel.
Who dat?
The original Captain Marvel, who is Kree. He's part of the Kree race of the aliens. He was a superhero. He's the original Captain Marvel, and it's kind of, to me, like, I never read those issues and stuff, but I always kind of thought of it the way it was described as like a kind of like a Green Lantern type thing with like this guy passing on the mantle or whatever. And she was Miss Marvel at first in the comics, and then she eventually became Captain Marvel. After many years, it was only like in the past few years that they officially named her Captain Marvel. But yeah, Marvel should be in a Captain Marvel movie. I like when they.
So it's kind of like a Green Lantern thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and I like how Marvel's been handling that sort of thing with these characters that have like a lineage to them and everything. Like with Ant-Man, we're seeing the Scott Lang version of it, which is not the first Ant-Man.
Spreads it out a little bit.
That's the one they start with the movies, but they also establish the backstory of Hank Pym and the original Wasp and everything. So that's cool.
Now, I've heard rumors that Captain Marvel is going to be in Infinity War for like a second.
I've heard not. I've heard she's not going to be in it. Maybe a cameo. I don't know, but from what I heard, it doesn't sound
traveling.
Like it. Yeah. Well, she's in the 90s. Like, her story's in the 90s, but I don't know how she shows up in present day. I don't know if it's like a Captain America type thing, if it's a time travel type thing, or if she's just gonna be old as fuck when Avengers Infinity War rolls around.
I forget if we talked about this last week, of like one rumor I heard where Doctor Strange sends Captain America back in time. Kind of like the.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You don't remember talking about that?
No.
One thing I had read was like the end of Cap's arc was like Doctor Strange, like after they get through all the Thanos stuff, Doctor Strange's like, all right, you know what? Let me send you back to the 40s so you can kind of be with everyone again. I was like, oh, that's really nice, like a nice end to his thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, does that change everything then? If he never, do you know what I mean?
Is that like a theory, or is that what someone's saying is going to happen? Or
it's just like a fan theory, like, oh, this could be how.
That's interesting. They never did that in any of the comics or anything like that, but that's an interesting way to handle that.
That would change
character.
a lot.
Because it's not fucking up time as much. I mean, I guess him going back in time, unless he just goes back and lives like a normal life or whatever.
Now, another part to that, like if he goes back in time, does the super soldier serum like still?
Does it still work?
Yeah, like how much longer will that?
Oh, that soldier
you know
serum
what I'm talking
last.
about?
Yeah, will it eventually fade off? And
yeah.
I don't know.
Because like obviously it preserved him, and like he's like 100 now.
Yeah.
But will that make him live longer if he goes back to old timey days?
I don't know. I mean, the question is like, would it? It doesn't matter whether he stayed here or went back, because if he, either way, does it run out?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
one theory
isn't
I've
that
heard.
like when Captain America got really old, when Steve Rogers got really old? Wasn't it something to do with that?
Yeah, there's some storyline that they're.
I don't know if it was just the serum wearing off. I never read it.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think it was like his body slowing down, kind of like Logan.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of slowed down. He's like an old dude.
Yeah.
And he's kind of more just giving advice.
I didn't know if that was like some kind of villain made that happen or whatever.
I don't think so. As far as, I mean, I know everything, so.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know.
Interesting. We were talking about, you mentioned Thanos a second ago. This wasn't in my notes, but the.
Come on down, it's Thanos.
I think that Josh Brolin said something that made people think he's going to be in Avengers 4 as well. So
Did he say I'm going to be in Avengers 4?
I think it for verbatim. I think it was no. I don't remember the quote or whatever, but I don't know if I read the article. I just remember seeing the headline. I was just busy writing articles for other stuff, so I didn't remember to check that. But
on what websites?
Heroic Hollywood.
Oh.
Yeah. So I believe he said something along the lines that might lead people to think he's going to be in the fourth movie as well.
What did he say?
I don't know for sure. Like, I didn't read the article, so I don't know.
Oh,
but
like you don't even... Okay,
I don't... That's why it's not in my notes. I forgot to look for it when I was putting together my notes. I just forgot about it, but you just reminded me of it. So, I mean, originally the first... The plan was that this was like 3 and 4 were like two-parter of Infinity War.
Yeah.
And then, more recently, in the last couple of years, they kind of said that that's not the case. That Avengers 4 is going to be a new thing, but we still don't know what Avengers 4 is. Is Thanos still going to be involved?
Curious what they would have changed it to.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still curious to see.
Is it going to be its own thing? Is it going to
be Avengers like disassembled? Is it going to be like Secret
the new
Invasion?
Avengers?
A new Avengers?
Because this one could be everyone gets got.
Is it going to be MODOK? Is it going to be...
I want Danny DeVito.
Who's a villain big enough for the 4th Avengers movie? Like, they spent their two like go-to ones in the first 2 movies, Ultron and Loki, and Thanos is the one they've been building up to this whole time. He's their big bad of like these first 3 phases of Marvel movies. So what do you end the Marvel phase 4 of the Marvel movies with?
I was trying to think of the stupidest villain, but I couldn't.
Paste-Pot Pete.
That's him.
The Trapster. I don't know, man. We're still a year away from Avengers Infinity War, so I'm betting that we're probably going to hold off until that comes out to reveal what the next one is.
If they had it, would a good one be Doctor Doom?
Yeah.
Yeah? You think he's...
Doctor Doom, Magneto, Galactus, like all these things would be characters that would be great.
You don't think they would do Galactus, do you?
They can't because they don't have Fantastic Four.
I thought that was one of the ones that was kind of like...
No. There was rumors of them trying to do some kind of trade so they can use Galactus at some point, but no.
Can they do Mephisto?
Fox is being a little bitch. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. Kingpin.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Dude, I want to see him in the movies so bad. I want to see him in a Spider-Man movie. I just finished watching Daredevil Season 1. Because I know there's only like 2 weeks before Defenders comes out, but I'm trying to watch...
It's still 2 weeks away?
It's 2 weeks from this Friday.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I was under the impression it was like out tomorrow or something.
No, you're dumb. No, so I got 2 weeks and I finished Daredevil, so I've only got 4 seasons of television to watch now. I got Jessica Jones, Daredevil Season 2, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. I never finished Iron Fist. I didn't watch the last 2 episodes. Hoping it gets better. No, it's not going to.
Who's Adam Warlock?
Well, I don't know where that question came from. Adam Warlock is...
He was teased at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Yes, he was.
Is he a big enough thing? I don't know anything.
He's not a villain.
Oh.
He's a hero. He's part of the... Like, when, in 2008, when they first brought this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy that we know of together, he was part of that. Okay. He's got some crazy magics going on. He's awesome. He's a really cool character. But, yeah, so... And he is a big part of the Infinity War thing, but he's not going to be in Infinity War either. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they got plenty of characters. Like, they don't need him, but it's just... I like when they have the characters on deck somewhere.
Do they have Namor?
Namor, I think... And I don't know how this works, because no one's ever made a Namor thing. So I don't know how someone else would have the rights to that character for so long without ever getting to make them. Like, ever actually making something. You know how they say, like... There's like you have to make a Fantastic Four movie every 5 years, or Fox loses them and stuff. So I don't know how, but I think Universal somehow owns parts of the rights, so they'd have to work together with Marvel the same way they did that first Incredible Hulk movie.
If they had Namor, is he? He's kind of like an in-between type-ish, right? Like he's a good guy, but he's also like he'll get a little pissy.
Yeah, he can get a stick up his ass about something.
Would he be a?
He's like Aquaman if Aquaman was more of a dick, I think.
Yeah.
which they've made Aquaman a little dickish more in a lot of stuff more recently.
Now he's more of like a surfer bro.
Yeah.
Looking for adventure.
Love it. Yeah. All right.
It's going to be awesome.
All right. So this just broke just moments before we started recording, actually. The Wrap is reporting that Chiwetel Ejiofor, who was Mordo. Yeah, and I'm proud of myself for knowing it. It's one of those names that I know how to say it, and I like that about myself. So Chiwetel Ejiofor, he played Mordo in Doctor Strange. He's also in 12 Years a Slave and The Martian.
Where's he from then, that name? That's
Talks
very...
to...
Do you know where he's from?
I don't know, but let me finish my sentence.
Fuck you.
Chiwetel Ejiofor is in talks to voice Scar in The Lion King. So, period. That was the end of that sentence.
Blasphemous.
Why? You want Jeremy Irons to come back?
No. Talking lions.
Oh, yeah, your whole thing. But yeah, I think, there was these rumors that weren't really substantial or everything. There was just something I saw that said Hugh Jackman is Scar, and I thought that would have been cool, but there was nothing to back those rumors up, and now The Wrap, who's a reliable source, are saying that Chiwetel Ejiofor is going to play Scar.
He's got a good voice.
Yeah, he's a great actor, too.
Yeah.
Like, I like that guy, so I like that casting. It would have been cool to see. I love...
Danny DeVito?
Yeah, of course. Why is it always
I'm
Danny
sorry,
DeVito?
did I mention something too awesome for you?
Yeah.
Fuck you. This is why you're not friends with Danny DeVito like I am.
What if Danny DeVito's one of the hyenas?
That's actually not that bad.
Yeah. Well, who were the three? I mean, I only remember two of them. It was Whoopi Goldberg and Cheech Marin. I can't remember the third. Who played the third?
Third one was just a giggly little, just a little.
It was
giggle
probably
bitch.
a voice. It was probably more of a regular voice actor.
Giggle bitch.
Giggle bitch. That was my. That was
That's your that's your old email address.
That was my nickname on my high school yearbook.
Gigglebitch@gmail. Gigglebitch at Yahoo.
Gigglebitch at hotmail.com.
Gigglebitch18 at.
Was it Ed? Jim Cummings played Ed. So yeah, I mean, really, like that's what when I was trying to think of, like who Danny DeVito could play in Lion King. That was like one of the only characters that I could think of is the hyenas.
What about
who hasn't been cast? Rafiki, yeah, I just saw that too. Yeah, Rafiki, who's gonna play him? We still haven't heard who's playing Rafiki or the hyenas. We know that Donald Glover's Simba, John Oliver's Zazu.
That's a good one.
James Earl Jones is playing Mufasa again. Timon and Pumbaa are Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner. Love it.
While I get that James Earl Jones is that voice,
yeah.
If you're kind of changing everybody else,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's one of those his voice is so perfect.
Oh, I know that. I know it's like getting Kevin Conroy to do Batman.
Yeah.
Like that's what the voice is.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying
is why aren't the other voices that important? Like that's what I thought. Scar might be Simba, Nala, all of them, whatever. Like all the other characters, even Zazu and
are those actors
Timon and Pumbaa. Like you could do other versions of those, but for some reason, yeah, Mufasa. It just felt right to keep James Earl Jones and Scar. I guess you could change it up, but Jeremy Irons was so great. Like I was saying, I sometimes listen to Disney, just songs from Disney. Yeah. That's the one I listen to. Be Prepared, the one he sings. I just love his voice in that song. Mm-hmm. Oh, our teeth and ambitions are bad. Be prepared. It's my jam, dog. I think
Lions.
Beyonce. There was a rumor of Beyonce might be getting $25 million to voice Nala in the movie. $25 million for a voice role. But then again, she's got a huge fan base, so she would.
They're paying. That's marketing. That's all that is.
Yeah, I mean,
she's not talented like a voice act. Like it's.
I don't as an actor or whatever. And I don't know. I haven't seen really anything.
You haven't seen her live in concert.
Not recently.
Does her music appeal to you at all?
She was in that Austin Powers movie.
Whoa, you're going all the way back to Austin Powers 3?
Because that's the only movie I can think of that she was in.
She in anything else?
She was in Dreamgirls, wasn't she?
Oh, I have no idea.
I think, wasn't she?
I know Eddie Murphy was.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see what else she's been in. Shit. Dreamgirls, Austin... Oh, I was like, because you know how like on IMDb it also shows like films they did soundtracks for,
Right.
And so it says what they're known for. She's known for Dreamgirls, Austin Powers and Goldmember, The Great Gatsby, and Doctor Strange. I was like, when was she in Doctor Strange? But it says soundtrack. Remember when he called Wong Beyonce,
yeah.
and he was listening to the song. So I was like, what was she in? Was she in Doctor Strange?
One thing I've thought about.
I mean, oh no, never mind. I was gonna say she has 83 credits on as an actress, but these are all Beyonce this, Beyonce that. A lot of music videos and stuff.
In that scene, did Wong already know who Beyonce was, and he was having his me time listening to it, or was he like, let me see what this Beyonce thing is all about?
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him saying like he called me Beyonce. What does that mean? And he did some research and is listening to it and go, oh, this is not bad.
All right.
All right. That wasn't in my notes, but I'm glad I remembered that. Mm-hmm. The Beyonce thing. All right. Star Wars, episode 9. This is a little indie thing. Episode 9. This is THR reporting that episode 9 is getting a new writer.
Is that the last one, quote unquote?
Yeah, it's the next one after The Last Jedi. It's gotten a new writer by the name of Jack Thorne, who's written and created a bunch of British TV shows and stuff. And he also wrote the upcoming movie Wonder with Julia Roberts. It's coming out. Looks like a just one of those movies that'll punch you right in the balls. It's like a real tear-jerker thing. But yeah, he wrote that, and he's going to be writing Star Wars Episode 9. And there was something else that he was attached to. Oh, I think he was attached to at one point. It says on IMDb. I don't know. IMDb is not always accurate, but it said under his credits one thing that was in pre-production or something. The Sandman. So I think he might be involved in the adaptation of Neil Gaiman's Sandman comics.
I don't know
at one
anything
point.
about that.
I've read a little bit. It's really interesting, trippy, cool stuff. And I think it'd be better as like an HBO series or something.
Okay.
I'm liking when these people are figuring out that some of these things can be TV shows too. Like, yeah, the big superhero stuff is great for, Marvel and DC and stuff, but there's some shit that I want to see on TV, like The Walking Dead and Preacher and The Boys, which is from the same people who made Preacher, Garth Ennis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, The Boys I really want to see. Seth Rogen's supposed to be working on that. And there's a lot of stuff that should be, like Sandman would be an awesome TV show. They're talking about doing Watchmen as a TV show now, and I don't know about all that, but
I've never read the Watchmen book, but it just kind of seems like it would be a good miniseries type.
Yeah, I think that's what they were trying to do. Because it just
seemed like there was so much information that they had to...
Yeah, well, there's like kind of 3 different parts of each issue. It was a 12-issue series, but it also had like articles and stuff in it as well, and it had this other... Like, there was a character in the books that was, like, reading a comic, and it was this, like, pirate adventure thing. And there was all these other things that, like, were part of it. So it was, like, it was more than just the main story of it and everything. And I don't know what they're doing for the TV show. They're probably just doing a whole new thing in that world, but who knows. Still on the Star Wars thing, we got off topic again. John Boyega was talking about Leia, how her character is going to be handled in the movie now after Carrie Fisher sadly passed away. But he said, in an interview on the show called Popcorn, he said this movie, it sends her off in a very amazing way. She's still kept alive in this franchise. That's the beauty of it. She lives forever in a sense. Mm-hmm. So he's talking about the way they're handling the character, writing her off of the series and everything. And he says she's still kept alive in this franchise. Now, does that mean that we'll always have these movies to watch and everything and she'll be in? Or are they literally keeping the character alive in the movie? So, because unless they had planned on killing her in the movie before, now if they didn't plan on that, now if they kind of wrote it to where like, oh, she got in a ship, drove off, the ship gets blasted down, that would feel like really, kind of shitty,
Yeah, like but they would probably change that if that's...
Yeah, it wouldn't be a great way of honoring the character and the actress and everything.
Before this, I kind of thought the plan was... Luke dies in this one, and then Leia dies in the last one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like a...
I thought about that before, but I also, at least part of me wanted it to be the other way around, where Leia would die in this one, and then Luke would die in the third one, because we didn't really get much of Luke in the first movie. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted, because at the end of the day, if he dies in The Last Jedi, he was only really in one movie in this new trilogy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he'll be a Force ghost even if he does die, so he'll be back. So there's that. But I don't know. I don't want Luke to die. It's been too long. I want him to have one more adventure even after this one. I know you've been wanting this for a while. The Han Solo movie. Your prayers are answered. Clint Howard is going to appear in the Han Solo movie.
Who?
Clint Howard.
Who's Clint
Ron
Howard?
Howard's brother.
Oh, okay.
You know the guy.
Yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah. Love that guy.
Who's he gonna be?
I don't know, but someone.
Is he Boba Fett?
I hope so. He takes the mask off and it's Clint Howard. That would be the greatest fucking.
Then I would really
ever.
like Boba Fett.
You would finally get behind Boba Fett.
Yeah, I mean the costume's not that cool.
It's cool.
He's got a little helmet and a backpack. Whoop-de-doo.
A backpack. It's a fucking jetpack, dude.
You know jetpacks aren't real,
You like
right?
to trivialize... No, it's fucking Star Wars. None of this shit is real. You like to trivialize every fucking thing. It just makes you look dumb. Honestly. It's a jetpack. Fucking... His backpack's got jets.
Shut up.
He's Boba the Fett.
God. You played that song so much. I should have stabbed you when I had the chance.
Good song. There's a new TV spot for it.
Okay.
And you can hear Pennywise's voice for the first time in it. And I like it. I like the voice.
I don't understand myself in this sense, because these horror movies, it's just not my...
You're a pussy. Say it. No, you don't like horror movies. And it's okay to be a bitch. Go on.
Nothing. I'm done.
You done?
Yeah.
Done being a little bitch?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done being a little bitch.
No, go ahead. You saying...
No. Go ahead. Talk about how The Fifth Element is the greatest movie of all time.
Okay. If you're about to say what I think you're going to say, I watched it the other night.
It.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about her not knowing how
Why
some
is she
door
so
works.
stupid?
She's not stupid.
There was one part where she didn't know what a door was.
You're wrong. I watched it. There was nothing like that in the
Are you
movie.
sure? She was like amazed by a door opening.
See,
Ooh,
you watched
where's the door?
You watched these movies like 20 years ago, and then you think about it later, and you just get some weird hair up your ass idea about this one scene that was never in the fucking movie.
She had no idea what a door was. She was like, "Oh, this is amazing."
No, it didn't happen.
If she was supposed to be so smart, why was she so dumb?
She wasn't.
Because she was.
Because she was just literally born.
Yeah, but isn't she supposed to be like this? Like,
she's not supposed to be ultimate smart. She's just supposed to be powerful.
No, they said something in there.
Oh, okay. Just take the word for the guy who's remembering some movie he watched once 20 years ago, as opposed to the guy that watched it 2 fucking weeks ago when...
It didn't come out 20 years ago.
1995, wasn't it? 97?
Please, God, don't let it be 20 years ago.
Yeah, it is.
I'm about to...
I think it was 97. Yeah, 1997. 20 years ago.
Well, fuck me then.
Yeah, fuck you right up the ass. All right. So you're wrong about that. You're wrong about everything else.
Fuck you, that movie's dumb.
Samuel L. Jackson was talking about, he revealed when shooting for Glass is going to begin, the sequel to Unbreakable and Split. Are you interested in this?
Yes. He wasn't in Split, though, was he?
He wasn't in Split.
Okay,
but do you want to see Split? Are you curious? Like,
yeah, now that I know it's a...
Here's the thing. I mean, it's been long enough. Like, if you don't know by now, you know, the directors tweeted about it, all this stuff. So, Split, I thought looked interesting from the trailers. But I didn't know if I was going to go check it out. I was going to wait till what I heard people say.
At first, it seems like one of those like scary things. I was like, oh, I don't want those girls. I don't want to watch them just be... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ugh. I was like, no thanks.
I mean, there's still part of that. That's still part of it. But this is... The interesting thing about it is, you know, I was interested when I saw the trailers. I'll admit it. And I have been interested in seeing an M. Night Shyamalan movie in forever. And even The Visit, I heard good things about it. People saying The Visit was more true to form. And I watched it... when Split came out, I watched The Visit, and I still didn't really care for that one that much.
The what?
The Visit. It's like a found footage type deal. It's shot in that kind of style, and it's these two kids going to visit their grandparents.
Okay.
Who are estranged from their mother.
Uh-huh.
So they're going to visit their grandparents who they never really knew.
Is this tied into...
No. It's just another. It's the previous M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh, I see.
And when that came out, people were like, this is actually pretty good. And there's like, oh, is he coming back? Is he back to form? And like, I went and saw it, and it was all right. I think I knew what the twist was because this is back when I was editing for. I was the editor on Geek Smash, and our buddy Troy wrote a review for the movie. And so I knew what the twist was because he wrote a spoiler review. So
I know what the perfect
when I saw the movie,
twist would
I already
be.
knew what was happening. What?
Because like everyone's always like expecting a twist, and everyone's always giving him shit for like, oh, what is it this time? It should literally be like the whole like regular movie.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, before it seems like something's gonna like be a twist, it cuts to like him sitting in a chair and just goes "fuck you," and he just
credits.
Yeah, there's your twist.
I never saw it because I wasn't really a fan of the cartoon or anything. But The Last Airbender, did that have a twist? I wonder.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I didn't see it, but I didn't hear any like.
The twist was it sucked the whole time.
It sucked the whole time. So Split, does that take place? That however that many years is?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because spoiler alert. I mean, I mentioned before, but I'll go into detail of the scene. Like, Split is its own movie for like 99% of it, and at the very end, they reveal in this cafe or like diner or whatever. There's a news story on about the whole situation with. Oh god damn it! I never can remember. I can never remember what the code name was. What they called the guy in Split. They called him something, not Legion, but something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Horde, maybe.
I didn't see it.
I've had this problem before on the podcast trying to remember what they called him. Basically, they're watching the news footage of it and everything and trying and then someone's like, "This reminds me of that guy that happened like those many years ago." It's like, they gave him a name too. What was it? And then like, it just keeps panning down. Bruce Willis is like, Mr. Glass or whatever, and then you're like, "Oh, it's the guy."
Like
from
he's in the
Unbreakable.
diner, or
He's in the diner. So Bruce Willis has a cameo at the very end of Split. And kind of reveals that this is in the same universe as Unbreakable. And so essentially what Unbreakable was like a superhero origin story, Split is a supervillain origin story, and Glass is going to be the third part where Sam Jackson comes back and kind of brings both of those stories together. And you're probably going to be seeing Glass being more of like the mentor to the Split guy. But and then
I want like another villain though. Like like throw another one in the mix.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
There's 2 in there. I mean,
yeah.
You don't want it to be Spider-Man 3, do you?
Kind of.
Kind of do, yeah. And the girl from Split is going to be in it too, so she might team up with Bruce Willis.
All right.
Because she was pretty cool. So Sam Jackson's they're starting shooting in September.
Good.
On this movie, so we'll probably see this sometime next year, so that's great. So the Mummy director, Alex Kurtzman, he says he isn't sure if he's going to be sticking around the Dark Universe much longer. He directed The Mummy, and it kind of kicked it all off, and he was going to be a producer, and like they had this whole like writer's room and like this whole creative like team like building these movies, and like he was going to be a producer on Bride of Frankenstein and Creature from the Black Lagoon and the next movies that they're going to do and stuff. But he's not sure about it anymore. He was talking to IGN. He said, the truth is, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't really decided is the honest answer. I have to stay interested in it. I have to feel like my passion is there for it. I think in the case of Star Trek, if your passion isn't there, you shouldn't be doing it.
I like Star Trek.
Yeah, he's like one of the guys that was involved in like the Star Trek remakes, the one that J.J. Abrams did, and he's involved in the new Star Trek Discovery, I think, as a producer. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't... I kind of want, like, I got sold on this whole idea. At first I wasn't sure, and then I got sold on the whole Universal Monsters movie universe, Dark Universe thing. And I enjoy, I had fun with The Mummy. I know I'm in the minority here, but I kind of want to see more of that stuff. Like, not every movie is going to be like that. It was more action leaning than horror or anything like that, because you have Tom Cruise and he wants to fucking fly around in a plane or some shit. And, but... that's not going to be every movie in these movies, so I'm curious to see what they do with this stuff. But I don't know. I mean, he seems like he wants out. And
is Tom Cruise doing all these stunts like to feel?
It's like, I need to feel something. Take me up in an anti-gravity. I don't know. Probably.
Right?
THR is reporting that Ian McShane has joined the cast of Hellboy, Rise of the Blood Queen. He's going to play Hellboy's adoptive father, Professor Trevor Broom, who was, the older gentleman in the previous movies and stuff that was like kind of found him and raised him and everything. But Ian McShane is a great actor. He's in Deadwood and a bunch of other stuff. I think he's in American Gods right now. He's a great actor.
Would I probably know him if I saw him?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I know him most from Deadwood. He's like great in that show. Mm-hmm. Pacific Rim Uprising. They moved it. It was supposed to come out February of next year, 2018, and they pushed it back a month to March 23rd. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I mean, usually when people see them pushing movies back, it hardly ever seems like a good thing because you think they need more time or whatever. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, wouldn't it be good to have more time to make some of these movies to make sure they get it right and stuff?
Yes.
But also, I mean, February is starting to get better in recent years with stuff like Deadpool and Get Out, I think, was this February and stuff. But, March has really started, like, when they're starting to release more of these big blockbusters and stuff are coming out earlier. I mean, that's when Batman vs. Superman came out last year. I think March was when Beauty and the Beast came out this year. That was a big hit. So the summer's starting earlier and earlier, and March is where it started. So is that a good thing that they pushed Pacific Rim back a month to get into a better time slot? A month's not bad. No, I want to see it now though. Pacific Rim, yeah. All right, your favorite actor, John Cena, has joined the Transformers spinoff Bumblebee in a lead role.
Why not?
I mean, this is big for him. For
him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest movie he's been involved in.
Do you have any interest?
I don't know. I mean, look, like, Transformers had a huge fan base. And people loved those cartoons. I wasn't really part of that fan base. I never really got into it. I watched the movies and stuff. And look, like, I'm like anybody. I'll like anything if it's good, and they haven't been good. And so, but the thing is, Michael Bay did all 5 of those movies. He's been kind of like, from my point of view, he's been like an anchor holding that franchise down as far as like doing anything interesting with it. Mm-hmm. And this new movie is going to be directed by someone else, Travis Knight, who directed Kubo and the Two Strings. So, but they changed the release date to December 21st, 2018, which is going to be opposite Aquaman.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's either. Well, no, I don't know if it's exactly opposite or it's like right before or after Aquaman. Something. It's right in there with Aquaman. So
Aquaman's going to beat the shit out of Bumblebee.
Well. The same thing happened this year with Wonder Woman. Transformers came out the week after Wonder Woman, and they deeply regretted it because Wonder Woman hung in there. Like, it's still making money. Like,
yeah,
it's not dropping week to week like other movies do. Like, it's been really successful. It's closing in. I think it just surpassed Deadpool, and it's closing in on. I think it's within less than 100, maybe 90 million of BVS, and I don't know. I'd like to see it make more, just to go like, hey, this is like the best movie they've done, and at least try to see if it can monetarily beat BVS, so people can see, oh, when we do it well, they like it. But anyway, yeah, this movie's gonna be set in 1987. Haley Steinfeld's also she's the lead in it. So I don't know. Do you think that John Cena can be the Rock of the Transformers franchise?
No.
Why?
He doesn't have. I don't know, man. The Rock has like a certain thing that John Cena just doesn't have.
Yeah.
Maybe he could prove me wrong, but I highly doubt it because I've already made up my mind.
You make up your mind with very little input on a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think John Cena's all right. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of him as a wrestler, but like he's at least good for wrestling, you know. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think I mean. The thing about The Rock is he just got so big and huge and like blew up because of that work ethic that comes from being a WWE superstar, and like they fucking work, man. Yeah. And like so does The Rock, and like no one works like him. And if John Cena, but he loves wrestling so much, he never wants to leave and everything. And like I think if he does when he does eventually leave WWE, he could have a similar kind of trajectory, like career trajectory in Hollywood as The Rock. Shazam. Director David F. Sandberg has been talking about Shazam a little bit. He said that it's going to be DC's most fun, lighthearted movie. They're going for. I mean, it's good because Shazam is a fun character.
Is there an actor that's?
Still no actor attached.
I'll do it.
There was this one thing where someone on Twitter saw, like, when they at Hall H and Comic-Con, they had this crazy, like, wraparound thing up on the screens of, like, all the DC characters. And someone pointed out that Shazam looked a lot like Alan Ritchson, who played Aquaman on Smallville. And he's also plays Raphael in the last 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. And he was Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State. But yeah, someone pointed out that that on that wraparound thing that the Captain Marvel or Shazam on that looked a lot like him, and he kind of, like, you know, joked about it and stuff, and said, "Oh, interesting. I don't know, some little dumb jokey thing."
Bullshit.
But I would like that casting because I like that guy. And I just want to know who's going to play Shazam, man.
Me.
Okay. Gonna have to start working out from now till
I'll do
2018,
CGI.
2019. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that's worth it.
Or you could do a push-up.
That would save us a lot of money. The director said he didn't really grow up a fan of the character or anything, but he's learning all about the character now, and he's excited to get to work on this film. And, you know, it's good to see that they're going in a different direction from the rest of the DCEU stuff. It's going to be fun, lighthearted, which it should be, because the character story, Billy Batson's like a 10-year-old kid or whatever, and then he turns into Shazam. He gets granted these powers by this mystical wizard named Shazam, and if he says the word Shazam, he turns into Captain Marvel, but they're just going to have to call him Shazam. So there's a lot of Shazams involved in there. Alright, so real quick, let's talk about some TV stuff and then call it a day. The Flash has cast an actor by the name of Hartley Sawyer, who's from a show called Saving the Human Race, as Ralph Dibny, the elongated man. So he's officially coming to the show this year.
Do you think they're going to kind of attempt that storyline?
What storyline?
The identity crisis?
Probably not.
No?
No.
They have some of the people.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's more of like... I don't know. I mean,
That's
they don't
just the
really...
only thing that pops in my mind.
Yeah, but, like... He's just one of those guys that can be used as, like, a fun character to use, just like, you know, Adam and all this. They don't, when they bring in those characters in these shows, they don't really pull from the storylines and stuff that those characters are known for. They just kind of incorporate them into their world. It's still going to be about the Flash and everything, so... But, there's something about...
practical effects for anything?
Practical? I don't know how you would do practical
Stretchy
effects
arms?
for get a Stretch Armstrong and do super close-up. I don't know. But the CG on the Flash has gotten pretty damn good over the years, so I think they could definitely pull that off. Grant Gustin also said that the show is going to be getting back to its light, fun roots this year, because last season was a little bit dark. They were trying something different there, going into the dark territory, but now they're trying to, take it back to its roots and stuff, which should be fun. And that's part of him going into the Speed Force, is him learning to let go of some things, and when he comes back, he'll be changed a bit, and he'll be a little bit lighter and have more fun with it. I believe that was something he said at the Television Critics Association summer press tour, which is a lot of this TV news is coming from. So we'll continue on with this stuff. On Arrow, Katie Cassidy teases that they're going to be doing like a Black Siren backstory sometime this season.
Okay.
You know, they're not doing the island flashbacks anymore.
Good.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy they're over, just because sometimes it works. It didn't always work, but, like, you know, I'm excited to be moving past that, and, like, now...
Try something else.
Yeah, and now this season, if they do flashbacks, which are not going to be every episode, but if they do, they can focus on other characters and other stories and stuff. Like, we're talking about the Slade Wilson two-parter they're going to do, and maybe do some Black Siren backstory, and see what things were like on her Earth, and how her relationship with all the characters that we know on the Earth 2 version would be. Like, that's pretty... Because we haven't seen a whole lot of the Arrow part of things explored from Earth 2. So that'll be interesting. All we know is that Black Canary is Black Siren, and Oliver died instead of his father.
Yes.
And his father became Green Arrow. Much like Flashpoint. Legends of Tomorrow, they cast an actress by the name of Jess McCollin from a show called Mistresses, and she was in a couple episodes of, like, Justified and Shameless. She's going to play Special Agent Ava Sharp in the third season. This is Deadline saying she's like a hardworking agent for a secret branch of the federal government, part of the Time Bureau, dedicated to the regulation of time travel and the protection of history. So she's going to come butt heads with the Legends for sure. She also joins. We talked before about an actress named Tala Ash is playing Zari Adriana Tomaz, who is known in the comics as Isis. I don't know if they'll call her that in the show.
Probably not.
Yeah. In the show, she's going to be a Muslim hacktivist. We're seeing a lot of hacktivist stuff happening. I don't know why that's... I mean, I guess Mr. Robot, everyone's like, oh, we're all going to be hacktivists now and everything. But this is something they said at the Television Critics Association thing. The Legends meet Zari in the year 2042. 2042 is a pretty bleak dystopian police state. Zari is speaking truth to she's speaking truth to power in the ways she can, in the only ways that she can. One of those ways, she's a hacktivist. She encounters the Legends. There's a philosophical challenge there because she sees they're going to fix these anachronisms in history, but she's living in a time that's so bleak and terrible, so she challenges the Legends to improve history and not just fix history. She's telling them to, go one further and make it better than what it ends up being for her. So there'll be some tension there. She's also very guarded because of what she has to do in her world, so she's reticent to go into the fold of the Legends at first. So she's going to kind of be the new character on the team this year.
Gotcha.
Each season they change up the lineup, but not as much as I thought they would going into this. But there's a lot of characters I love in this team, so I want to see most of them stick around. But I also want to see new characters come in. They also said that Ray is going to have a flashback episode this year. The Atom, Ray Palmer is going to... Because they've hinted a lot of his history over the course of, like, Arrow and Legends and stuff. And, he's had a rough history. Like, he lost his wife and, I think she was killed by a mugger or something like that, or some kind of criminal-related thing. So we're going to have a flashback to him and finally get to see a little bit more of his darker past and stuff. It's just going to be rough. Like, I love that guy. I want things to be work out for him.
He'll be alright.
Always living with T-Rexes and stuff. And Gorilla Grodd is going to be on Legends of Tomorrow this season.
Good. More monkeys.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, one last story.
They're making a Justice League movie.
Yeah. Breaking right now. Hot scoop. Supergirl.
Supergirl.
The Supergirl executive producer Robert Rovner was talking about the crossover.
Yep.
He said this year it's a true 4-part crossover that will start with Supergirl and be on this fall. And that's all we can say about it. It's going to be super. Basically, they're confirming...
Like the beginning of her episode.
Yeah, it's going to start with Supergirl, and it's going to be all in Supergirl. Like, last year, it was just, it was a regular episode of Supergirl. The very last second, Flash shows up, and just that last scene. And then they fuck off to the Flash, and Flash begins with that same scene.
Yeah.
So, or that scene happens in the Flash. So it's like we didn't even need to watch Supergirl to be part of this. But she was involved in the stories of the other episodes, so that was awesome. But this year they're going to be doing it different. It's going to be 4 episodes. And they also said, Entertainment Weekly revealed that this year it's going to be a 2-night event instead of 3 nights. Because last time it was 3 nights or was it? Was that before Legends of Tomorrow moved?
That was before.
Anyway, this year it's going to be a 2-night event. And because now the Flash and Legends is on Tuesday, Arrow is moving to Thursday now this season. But for this one night only, it's moving to Monday. So this year it's going to be Supergirl and Arrow on Monday night, and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow on Tuesday night. So it's going to be, which is cool because watching the crossovers and having to wait the next night for the next episode kind of sucks. So you're at least going to get 2, and then the next night you get the other 2.
Why is Arrow moving to Thursdays?
I don't know. I don't know why. They're just moving, shuffling stuff around.
Is Black Lightning on...
I don't know when Black Lightning is going to be on. I don't think it's Black Lightning starting when the other shows are starting. I think it's probably going to be mid-season.
Okay.
Because as far as I know, they haven't really gotten to the bulk of shooting that stuff yet, whereas Arrow and Flash and them are all in production already.
I'm looking forward to that big crossover.
Yeah. The 4-part?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're not Black Lightning's not going to be involved this year. They're talking about it's not going to be really part of the Arrowverse yet, but just like with Supergirl, maybe one day they will be. It'll be probably just another Earth, and I'm okay with that. If that's how they connect it, it's just another Earth, I'm fine with it because it's okay. Like it is kind of cool seeing some of the like on Supergirl, seeing a character that's not really connect. I mean, I guess Supergirl's not the same because there was Superman before her. But in this instance, if Black Lightning's the only one of these guys, doing this sort of thing, you know, like, and you can build the world from there, where this guy's like the first guy doing it, sort of thing. And, you know, but like, I want to see them connect, and eventually I'm calling for it. I just want there to be that thing that brings all the universes together into one world, and we have just DC universe, just all in one world, and no fucking bullshit time travel stuff. It's just all in one world.
That they fight
this year?
Yeah,
I don't know. They're saying it's going to be bigger than last year's, like more than just a 4-episode thing. What can they do that
more
is
aliens.
bigger than? I mean, I guess, but like, I mean, there's other things, but for some reason it always just comes down to aliens, doesn't it?
The devil.
Yeah. I want to see Oliver Queen punch the devil in the nuts. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? It's either supernatural or space or just some magical thing. Like, I mean, what can you do that needs all these heroes brought together? I mean, last year it was a storyline from the comic books. Do you think maybe this year it might be a similar thing?
Probably. Thanos.
Yeah, Thanos is fucking everyone up. All right. I think that's about it. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and subscribe to The Amazing Nerdiverse on iTunes or use your favorite podcatcher app. And most importantly, leave us a review. This is the most important thing you can do to help us out and help people find this show. If you're watching on YouTube, like this video and subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below. Share the show with your friends on social media. Follow us on Facebook.com/TheAmazingNerdiverse. On Instagram, @AmazingNerdiverse. And on Twitter, I'm @Jeff_Grants.
I'm @Steven Tukert.
And we are @NerdversePod. And finally, go to TheAmazingNerdiverse.com for all that and very little more. And until next time, I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steven Tukert.
And we'll catch you right here next time in The Amazing Nerdiverse.
Hit 'em. And scene.